Well, a very good morning to my science teacher, Teacher Noraini Midian, and my beloved friends. Well, guys, my topic today is about nanotechnology. What is nanotechnology? Well, nanotechnology is the technology in nanoscale. Let me show you. The nanotechnology is the manipulation of matter on an atomic level that less than 100 nanometers. Well, 1 nanometer is equal to your pinky finger, your pinky finger, like 1 million times smaller than your pinky finger. Yeah, it's that small. And I'm going to show you guys the basic. It's kind of basic, and it's the idea of nanotechnology. Let's see.
What is nanotechnology, and why should you?
Well, but first I'm going to apologize. My laptop can can process the video when I click with the photo in front, so I have to use hyperlink instead. And let's see.
Care. Before we get too technical, try this. Pick up something that's close to you. Anything. It might be a glass, or a smartphone, or even a t-shirt. It doesn't really matter what. Now, think about what this thing does well. It could be holding water or chasing Pokemon, or if you're thinking about that t-shirt, making you feel awesome. Then think about what it doesn't do so well, perhaps smashing when you drop it, or running out of power just when you need it. Or thinking about that t-shirt still, smelling of BO after you've worn it for a couple of days. It might not be obvious, but all of these things, the good stuff and the bad, depend on the individual atoms that make up the things around us, and importantly, how they're put together. It's a bit like a car working because of how all the individual bits are arranged. It's not just a case of having 4 wheels, an engine, and a steering wheel. They all have to be in the right place if you want a car that gets you to where you're going without falling apart. Of course, atoms are a bit smaller than the wheels on a car, but the same idea holds. How the different atoms in something are arranged can affect things like how strong or how weak it is, or if it conducts electricity, or if you can see through it, or even what it feels like. In fact, pretty much anything that the stuff around you does, it does because of how all the different atoms it's made of are put together. And this includes the things that you don't want stuff to do, like breaking, or smelling, or running out of power. If we were really smart, of course, we'd make the stuff around us work better simply by doing a better job of arranging the different atoms it's made of. And if we were smarter still, we could make totally new stuff by putting atoms together in ways that we'd never done before. We could even start to create stuff that behaves in quite unusual ways, because when you start playing around with atoms, you can tap into some really weird quantum physics. The trouble is, atoms are really small, more than 1,000,000 times smaller than the tip of your pinky finger, and that means they're not that easy to work with. But over the past few years, scientists and engineers have become increasingly good at designing and engineering materials down at the level of atoms or small groups of atoms. And because this new technology involved doing stuff at such a minute scale, it's called nanotechnology. Using their new skills, nanotechnologists are beginning to do cool stuff like creating materials that are really good at turning sunlight into energy, or using nanoscopically small particles to deliver anti-cancer drugs, or even turning polluted water into drinkable water. They're even finding new ways to make glass that doesn't break when you drop it, batteries that last longer, and even t-shirts that smell fresh after you've worn them for a few days. This is really powerful tech. It's helping us to do stuff we couldn't even dream of just a few years ago. But because nanotechnology is so powerful, we need to be really careful how we use it, just in case we end up causing more problems than we solve. The last thing we want is to make better solar cells that also destroy the environment, or design more efficient water filters that just happen to cause more pollution. Because of this, scientists and others are working hard to make sure we develop and use nanotechnology responsibly. But this isn't just down to nanotechnologists. It's something everyone can be part of, because at the end of the day, it's up to us to decide just how much we want nanotechnology-enabled products and what we're willing to put up with to get them.
Well, I'm pretty sorry guys, the video has some glitch in it, but I'm sure that you guys understand what is nanotechnology better by watching the video than listening to me. Well, because it's better. And of course, if you're going to make technology at nanoscale, what how how we move the atom at such small level? Well, the scientists are using this scanning tunneling microscope. It's like the basic thing you need to, it's the kind of basic if you want to move atom. Well, let's see how it works. Well, this is not the only the only thing that used to move atom. There are a lot of other inventions, but let's see the most basic one. Let's see how it works.
So what we do to move atoms is a variation of what we do to see the atoms in the first place. So we can't use light to see them. So
Well, I saw that guy is very happy, and his smile, it's like from here to the eye. It's very happy, I see. But let's see how much happy can he show us by talking about how to move atom. I kinda excited to see him. To see him, not the video.
we're not looking through a microscope like the conventional microscope we're used to. We need something that can see much smaller things than that. So what we do is take a sharp metal needle and bring it close to the atoms. And in a sense, we're feeling the shape of the atoms. So if you imagine that we have a surface that we're putting an atom on, we put it on a surface and so it holds still. What we do is take this metal needle close to the atom and sense its presence by measuring an electric current that flows. And as the tip of this needle approaches the atom, it sees more electric current, and we draw it up and over the atom to keep that current constant. So in a sense, we're feeling the shape of this atom. Then in order to move atoms, we observe that we have a sharp metal needle near it. We can bump into it by accident. What we can do is, instead of doing it by accident, do it under control. If this is our atom on a surface, we can move the tip close and we start to form a chemical bond between the tip and the atom. That chemical bond forms between most atoms. They like to bond to each other in most cases. So we start to form a bond such that the atom follows the tip around on the surface. We can drag it to a new spot. When we withdraw the tip, it holds still because the surface is holding it in place. And we can take an image and see where we've placed this atom. So that process, repeated over and over, is how we've built most of the structures in our lab. That's our bread and butter basic technique for moving atoms around.
Well, we know how to move atom now, but I just want to show you something very interesting. It's very, very, very interesting, guys. the world's smallest movie. Yeah, man. Well, it's not very fun. It's kind of boring, but it's the world's smallest movie, guys. Let's see. Well, that's basically world's smallest movie. Well, I think it's not movie, it's video. Let's change the title. The world's smallest video. But it's not great when you say it's video. It has to be the world's smallest movie. Well, our topic today is not about world's smallest movie. It's about nanotechnology. Well, let's dig in. Well, of course, if we are making technology at such small scales, we need to have materials that are at the same level, at the same nano scale. And then we have nanomaterials. Nanomaterials are chemical substances or materials that are manufactured and used at a very small scale. Well, this is the one of the most used nanoscale technology. It's a carbon nanotubes. Carbon nanotube is a graphene atom that is arranged in hexagonal shape and then rolled up. It's rolled into tubes, and it's a powder like. But when you see it on the nanoscale, it's kind of hexagon, and it's like a cylinder with no ends. I don't know what I'm talking. Well, I know what I'm talking, but I think you don't know what I'm talking. Just check in Google. Google has everything. Then we have nano gold. Well, you must be thinking why I said nano gold, but why there are red water, purple water, and real gold? Well, when gold reduced to nanoscale, it's being dikecilkan into nanoscale. The nano gold, the gold particle react differently with lights. So when lights get through, the purple color reflect again, and we can see it as purple. But when the nano gold particle becomes smaller, 20 nanometer, the red one, the red light is the one that is shown to our eyes. It's kind of basic, but it has more science in it. So if you want to buy gold, go buy this gold. It's cheap. Not that kind of cheap. It's kind of $100. It's kind of like that. Three of them. It's kind of well. I don't recommend you to buy that because it's useless. Not very useless. useless for us, but not the scientists. Well, the nanotechnology is going to bring our future to a brighter one. So we need to know the application, what we can do with nanotechnology. Well, nanotechnology can be used in medicine with nanomedicine. Well, scientists are making it's already out there. The drug nano drug delivery system. Well, when we treating cancer, there are drugs that can kill the cancer, but can kill the healthy cell too. So scientists are making the outer shell a delivery system. The drug are stored in the delivery system. This one is the delivery system. The outer one is kind of a tracking device where the shell, this system, it's going only to the tumor cells. It's going inside the tumor cells, so it's only kill the tumor and not the healthy cells. But it's already out there. I know it's mind blowing. Then we have nanobiotechnology. Well, there's not a lot of improvement in nanobiotechnology because scientists they can manipulate atoms on living creature yet. Yes, yet. But they are already synthesized DNA, which human DNA that's already being synthesized, and artificial DNA. Then we get green nanotechnology. Well, green nanotechnology is nanotechnology to reduce waste that cause harm to the environment. And they're going like they want to make zero pollution technology by the green nanotechnology. Then nanotechnology in energy application. Well, the solar panels are using nanotechnology because in nanoscale the light rays convert into electricity, and also this nanotechnology is making the energy application more efficient. It's improving the efficiency of fuel consumption. Okay, kebelit tidak. Then we got industrial application of nanotechnology. Well, this is only in textiles. They are making optical displays, water repellence, anti-static properties, wrinkle resistance, strength enhancement, UV blocking, computing, antibacterial or odor control, and sensors. Well, in the food industry, they are making advanced food packaging, improve production of food crops, food processing, nano additive, development of innovative products, protection against spoilage and pathogenic microbes, and food security. Then we have nano art. Well, it's basically art in nano scale. Well, I think it's kind of useless because this person is making a sculpture that are nanoscales which no one see it because it's very small. So it's kind of useless. And but we need to give a big round of applause to the maker because he's making the world's smallest sculpture. Although it's kind of useless. Well, that's my feelings. My feelings are always right, but our feelings are always right. Then we have the nano electronics. In the nano electronics fields, they are making faster CPUs, less heat, and energy efficient, so that our phone will be faster and less heat, and the battery lasts longer. Then we have nanotechnology in warfare. Well, that's the mini drone, the mosquito drone. I called it mosquito drone. Well, it's kind of scary if there is a drone that looks like mosquito and it has virus in them. So if the mosquito go to the enemy base and inject the virus into the one of the enemy, then the enemy will fall by themselves. And also, the scientists are making mini nukes and enhanced soldiers and exoskeleton. They have then carbon nanotubes muscles. But as I say earlier, the carbon nanotubes has a lot of potential. Well, one of them they are making carbon nanotube muscle carbon nanotube muscle. Mantap kayo. Then we have top 3 existing nanotechnology. Well, all of these inventions are basically 2, 3, or 4 years later. 4 years before yang dulu lah, yang lama-lamanya. And can you imagine what there has been achieved in this 2020, although it's coronavirus time. Yeah, man. Okay, let's see.
Researchers in the United States are spinning gold nanoparticles into a stretchy new conductive material that could eventually produce a new generation of flexible electronic devices. The conductor they've developed can maintain its conductivity when the material is stretched to even up to 5 times its original size. Kim Min-ji has the details.
Bendable display panels, foldable electronic newspapers, things like these once seemed futuristic and out of reach. But we may now be one step closer to seeing these next-generation electronic devices become a reality. A group of Korean and American researchers at the University of Michigan have found a way to turn gold nanoparticles into stretchy material that can expand up to 5 times its original size and still maintain its conductivity.
Stretchable conductor from nanoparticles can show excellent properties in terms of conductivity and stretchability. In that way, we could have high conductivity up to 5 times of stretching of the original composite.
The research team discovered that nanoparticles exhibit high conductivity and elasticity when embedded in polyurethane, unlike other conductors that lose their conductivity when stretched. The composites of nanoparticles are arranged into zigzag chains, which allow them to maintain their conductivity as the particles move to fill the gaps when stretched.
They actually self-organize in the chains. And that's the trick of having high stretchability and high conductivity. The particles are not behaving in a random way, and that results in high mobility of the charges and high conductivity.
The discovery will likely clear the way for the development of new electronics in a wide variety of sectors, and the university is moving to patent the technology. Kim Min-ji, Arirang News.
Well, let's see the next video. It's a self-healing plastic. Well, can you imagine it, a self-healing plastic? At first, I can't myself. But when I see the video, I believe in self-healing plastic. We need to rewind that one. We need to go back there. We need to go back. We need to see it again. We're not there. Okay. Wow! Mind blown, man! Wow. Can you see? It's cut in half. Then the plastic heals itself. Ooh. Impressive. I'm speechless.
In the future, we may be able to produce prosthetics and medical implants, which can repair themselves inside your body. We can even produce vehicles, which potentially can have self-healing properties, which could heal a crack within the vehicle before it can cause any damage to a passenger. Or buildings could be coated with a self-healing layer, which will defend it from environmental conditions and damage.
Well, let's see the last one. Although the self-healing plastic is very, very mind-blowing. And this one is
Going viral just might have a new meaning. Scientists at the Berkeley National Laboratory have found a new way to create electricity with a combination of human movement and amazingly benign viruses. After determining the N13 bacteriophage and amazingly benign viruses, combination of human.
That guy, his smile is very scary. You know, it's very scary. I kind of terrified when I saw that smiles and that body too. And that smile is and that boy and that body is a perfect person for being a
movement and amazingly benign viruses. After determining the N13 bacteriophage virus was both benign and could generate piezoelectricity, a collected charge in certain materials when stimulated, the scientists built this postage stamp-sized device that stimulated the virus with the tapping of a finger. Tethered to the virus itself, the growth of energy created in the process would also be exponential, suggesting the possibility of a limitless energy source. The research suggests that viruses could someday power small electronics and be woven into our clothing, or even the floors of buildings to generate power through human movement. That's either the glimpse of the holy grail of energy independence, or the beginning of a crazy horror movie.
Want more science? We've got the latest on discoveries and breakthroughs. Check out Slate News Science. Click to subscribe. Like us on Facebook at Slate Video. Follow us on Twitter at Slate Viral.
Well, guys, can you see? The nanotechnology is our future. It's the future of humanity. Basically, nanotechnology is what is the model of the future. So, in my opinion, we need to know about nanotechnology, the basic, the use, the application, the materials. We need to know the basic before we advancing ourselves to the future. And very good. I'm very thank you for those who watched this video from the beginning to the end. Although my pembentangan is not that great. I still stuck when in English. I'm very sorry, but thank you for those who watching. Goodbye, guys.